Hello, we are the Geeks and Degenerates, and this is my co-host Jom, as always. We are ending our soul-searching lineup with Begin Again. Yes, a small movie from 10 years ago that honestly until now, I had no idea what it was about, or who the characters were, or yeah, who directed it, who stars in it. All I knew is that I had the songs, and I listened to them on Spotify.
Wait, when did you watch this?
I watched this for this review because Seb mentioned it. I was like, all right, but I had the songs.
Same here. I never watched Begin Again. I always knew the Lost Stars songs because I would always sing it like on karaoke.
Yeah,
And I'm a very big fan of Maroon 5 when they were like really good back in the day.
yeah,
So I was like, sick. I don't mind. I like Adam Levine. But going into it, I was like, I don't know what this movie's about. I really don't. It has Mark Ruffalo in it and
Keira
what's her name
Knightley.
again? Yeah, Keira Knightley. And I don't know. I just never. It just never piqued my interest.
Yeah, Adam Levine's in this. You're like, I'm not the biggest
Right.
fan of him as a
Yeah.
person, but yeah, I knew this blew up in my high school. Like it was a big deal, and I tried to be the cool kid who's like, I'm not into rom-coms. Now I'm just like, I kind of want to watch them.
I love how I'm not into rom-coms. 10 years later, I want to be held. I want to be held.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess our impressions of the movie, like going in, and like I do like how the story is told. Like we start off with Greta singing because James Corden kind of forces her to like, come on, you can do it, sing to these lovely people, and then
Yeah. Because not knowing the backstory of why Keira Knightley's character is there at first place, all teary-eyed and everything, and just depressed.
yeah,
This seems like her last night in New York.
yeah,
So, but it seems like this is her last run. James Corden's character is like, no, just get yourself out there. You're a really good singer-songwriter.
yeah,
Just give it a try and see what these people think. And it was a tad bit hard to watch at
yeah,
the beginning because you're like, oh, okay, it's a very lovey-dovey, sappy, sorry to the songwriters, kind of song
yeah,
with just a guitar. And a lot of people didn't really pay attention. Some people were laughing, minding their business, or talking over her while she was singing. And yeah, for me, I was kind of more like this the whole time I was watching that. I was like, I know it's not a cringy scene, but I don't like seeing this.
yeah. And then you meet Dan, who's played by Mark Ruffalo, and then you get to his backstory of him being this wash-up, kind of alcoholic music producer who has a mixed relationship with Violet, who is his daughter, played by Haley Steinfeld. And he tries to reclaim his glory days, but even his company's like, you're out of the business, man. You haven't found anything in 10 plus years. You're done.
God, that is tough knowing the fact that you are the co-founder of said company, and they're just like, we gotta lay you off. You ain't, you're not beneficial.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I guess if he lives the life that he does, like he lives in an apartment, you saw the house that he had with his wife,
Yeah.
and man drives an old Jaguar. I'm like,
Yeah.
man's not really good with his money, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's leaning towards chronic alcoholism. You're like, oof, poor guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Though the second time you hear Keira Knightley's song, you're like, God damn, Keira Knightley has a voice. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it was edited or not, but yeah, once you start having the song filled out, like him being Dan,
Yeah.
seeing her sing the song, but him being drunk can see and hear more.
Yeah.
So he hears the piano playing, he hears the violins and cellos playing.
Yeah.
He hears all the instruments cohesively making the song better
Yeah.
compared to how we listened to it at the start, which I really like. Like they show the difference between just a regular person who would just listen to a song just because they could listen to a song, and to a person who can actually,
Picture it together.
yeah, that's not any of us. Just letting
Yeah.
y'all know, we're not saying we're on a high horse here by saying, "Oh yeah, you don't understand this music." Nah.
No. But like we're just
don't be those guys who were into Frank Ocean's Blonde.
yeah, you don't
for a bit.
understand. My Chemical Romance, as Nina once said, like what?
Yeah. By the way, Frank Ocean's Blonde album, goated. People who liked it, I hate all of you.
But yeah, he then asked for her because he's like, I can help you with your music career. He's like, I'm not interested in any of that. I'm leaving tomorrow. He's like, come on, just one chance. And he says some stuff too. You're like, am I gonna like your character, or am I gonna be creeped out by you? I don't know. I hope I'm gonna like you by the end, and thankfully I do. But like, as he's talking to her at the beginning, you're like, oh god, this guy's kind of a creep.
Yeah, I don't know how Keira Knightley's character didn't just go, no.
Yeah, just walk away.
Yeah, like, doesn't matter, especially with a conversation of like, oh, we could dress you up, we could change how you look, you know, we could ditch this whole tomboy look that you're going for. And she was like, whoa, music's not about that. And that's true. But music business is.
Yeah.
Sad reality.
Yeah.
Says the guy who often wears K-pop shirts. But yeah.
Yeah. And then he's like, if you're interested, call me. And she's like, I'll think about it. And then that's when we get her backstory where she had a relationship with Adam Levine, and like he has a blossoming music career, one-man band, which is Adam Levine's career, if we're being honest.
Yeah, you can't tell me. I love that one drummer from Maroon 5. Never know his name.
Yeah.
No offense, but that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Like, without looking up in Wikipedia who the hell the drummer of Maroon 5 is, nobody can tell me. You know? That's the situation. I'm sorry. It's harsh reality.
It's not like the Foo Fighters or Linkin Park or Paramore, where like I know every member. Where Maroon 5, unfortunately, is like I know Adam Levine. I'm sorry.
I mean, same with like Panic at the Disco. I know every member that's on Panic at the Disco.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know about you, but like once they show the secretary of the company, I'm like, I feel like Adam Levine's gonna have a affair with her.
Yeah, I was like, I don't trust both of you at all. She is smiling too much. You're smiling too much. Like,
they show her in a light. You're like, this feels like a cliche movie thing, where it's like, oh no, trouble.
Yeah, like the camera focused onto her like a little too long, and you're like,
and then when he's like, I'm moving to LA, you're like, oh.
I smell adultery.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And then while he's gone, Greta meets Steve, played by James Corden. You're like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure back in 2013, people were like, he seems nice. I don't want to.
Maybe he was, and then like same story with like Adam Levine, where dude just became an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of Adam Levine's character becoming an asshole, he cheats on Greta, and then she pieces.
I love that scene though. I love that scene.
Where he plays
so
the song,
much.
and then she's like, "Oh, it's not.
It's not for me."
Yeah.
And like you're just listening to it, and you're like, "Ah." Then you just like, "Oh fuck!" She slapped him. Why? And then he goes, like he smashes the glass and comes back. He's like, "You're like a fucking mind reader." You're just like, oh, you son of a bitch! I called it.
Yeah. And then she leaves him to stay with James Corden, and then that's when we get to present day, and she does call Dan up, and she's like, I have no, what do you call that? I have no video cassette for the studio to listen to, but if they just hear me, and then you go to the studio, they're like, it's not the way we do things. Sorry.
Yeah. And yeah, it's the exact same way we heard it.
Yeah.
How us simple people heard the song, and you're just like, you know.
Yeah.
By the way, I love the opening scene with Mark Ruffalo, where he's going through like the mixtapes of other people's music, and it's just all horrible. Like, it started out great until you start fucking singing.
You also learned that he kind of still talks to his ex. played by Catherine Kinnear, who is from, I forgot where she's from, but she's in everywhere.
She was that creepy mom from Get Out.
Yeah, and she was Steve Carell's girlfriend in 40-Year-Old Virgin. Yeah. But yeah, record company says no, and they're like, you know what, fuck it. We'll make our own music videos. We'll make our own thing. And they assemble their own team of musicians. I like how the one piano guy, he's like, I have a real opportunity to be a musician. Bye, ballerinas. Sorry.
Yeah, and then it was like keep me posted and shit. I was like, yeah. Like they're just getting people off the streets. The two violinists are like brother and sisters who are prodigies.
Yeah. They also get help from what's his face, CeeLo Green.
Yeah. But he plays like a completely different person.
Yeah.
But CeeLo Green's character is like one of the first people that Mark Ruffalo's character, Dan, what do you call it? Gave him a label.
Yeah, gave him a start, like helped him help produce his music, and that's what Dan really does. He produces music, and then you see it really come together with the first song, which is Roses, and I like how he incorporates the kids too to be the backup vocals. But again, you're like,
I hate the kids, but like you're like, hi, can you guys go to like another alley? No! Like they start kicking the trash can. I'm like, I can't say it on the internet.
But yeah, I do like the first song, Roses, and again, you're like, goddamn, Keira Knightley sings very well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
By the way, the whole drunk look, you know, the unkept, haggard, alcoholic dad look, is pulled off so well by Mark Ruffalo. I was like,
you know what? I wish I saw
that shit's hot. That shit's hot.
Yeah, I wish I saw this back in 2013 because all I knew him for was the Hulk.
Same here. I was like, man, looks great with a sports coat and just like a crew neck, like a very tattered crew neck underneath. I was like, I'm stealing that look. I'm gonna try it out.
And their first song is successful, and they move on to make their second album, or like second song. But like Keira Knightley does help Violet, who's the daughter of Dan, like fix her look. They go shopping, and then they have a good time. And then that night she asks him like, "You're a good dad. Why don't you spend time with your daughter more?" It's like, you don't understand. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and you get the rough story of like, oh yeah, he storms out.
Yeah.
And they're both arguing and just like, yeah, again, you can't measure what another person's feelings, or like, you can't justify yours is better than theirs or yours is worse than theirs.
Yeah. Like,
you can't do that. And I love the scene where he just tells her that one day she fell in love with some dude. She goes after him, and he leaves her behind. And now I have to clean up the mess, kind of deal. And I'm like,
yeah.
Or not really clean up the mess, but it's just more of like, how rough would that be?
Yeah.
Like a love of your life, the girl you married for God knows how long, goes off with another dude. The dude abandons her, and she has nowhere else to go. But
after they were like, we'll tell each other, our own husbands or wives, the situation that we don't love them no more, and we're going with each other. But the guy just bails on her, and she's like, oh shit.
Yeah. And goes back to his family.
Yeah.
And now the husband, Mark Ruffalo's character, is just stuck with like, she doesn't love me anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's the way it is.
And I was like, we're not saying that Keira Knightley's feelings are not as bad. No. Yeah. Being cheated on is fucking horrible. Especially when Adam Levine did it so well, too.
Yeah.
As if he was a natural. Sorry.
It's funny how art reflects life, and vice versa.
Sure. That's why we like to separate them as much as possible.
But still hold them accountable, because we will acknowledge that Adam Levine is an asshole.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I do like after their argument they bond over guilty pleasure songs. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that seems like a nice thing to do. Just walk around New York, and just listen to like your friend's guilty pleasure songs. Like, oh, you listen to this? How about you? Oh, shit.
I love the idea.
Yeah.
He has this like plug-in for his phone or iPod
CD
that
player.
branches into two.
Yeah.
No, they use an iPod now.
Oh yeah.
But,
Yeah.
But he has that, and then you could just plug in two of your headphones or earphones, and you could both listen to the same music. I love that shit. And then they walk around the city without speaking a single word to each other and just listening to their music. I want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, that's just sick.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple of guilty pleasure songs, and I was like, you know what? Hopefully, the person doesn't judge me. If I'm like, you want to listen to this? Yeah.
Like to the future Mrs. Enzo, like.
And the future Mrs. Jom too.
Yeah.
Also, like earlier that day, Greta did invite Violet to like, hey, you can play with us. I know you play the bass pretty well.
Guitar.
Sorry.
No, she does not play the guitar well, as I've heard from
the
mom. But she does like later on. She's like, fucking they thought about. She does it well.
Yeah.
She does the whole pentatonic shit that like. It's like how can she be bad if she could do the pentatonic shit?
Yeah. And like before we get to the second song, she does leave a voice message for Adam Levine's character. Like, well,
and it's a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was an asshole. You're like, oh, sure.
Fuck you, Vest Boy.
Yeah. But I do love them like trying to film in different locations and being chased by the police because they're like, you're not supposed to be here. Why are you doing this in the subway?
Yeah, you need a permit. By the way, they're doing this because the record label won't be given to them unless they give them a CD, like a mixtape.
Yeah.
But they have nowhere else to record because I guess recording is kind of expensive.
Yeah, and Mark Ruffalo.
So they kind of have, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry?
No, I was gonna say Dan doesn't have a lot of money left. So they're like, nah, fuck it, we'll do it in public.
Yeah. So I was like, alright, they just have to work with what they got.
It's the second song that I've added first to Spotify. Because I'm like, well, damn, this is catchy. I like this. I'll probably never see this movie unless I have a podcast for some reason. Because
you write down like in a note somewhere 10 years ago.
It is a good song. I think it's my favorite of this movie. It just flows
yeah, the
so
one
well.
with Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah, her solo, her guitar solo. I'm like, God, what is the mom talking about?
Yeah, and also we found out that like Dan used to play the bass.
Yeah.
I found this scene a little bit funny because I can't tell. I really can't tell. We don't know. I don't know. I'm not 100% on it. But I don't think Mark Ruffalo can play bass.
If you want to go after John, Mr. Ruffalo, you can.
No, Mark Ruffalo, I love you as an actor. But this movie did you dirty. The fact that he didn't like sit you down and told you like, hey, hit these chords and just pretend to play. Or gave you like a class to look like you knew what you're doing. Because the whole time Mark Ruffalo was playing, he had his back turned to the camera. And I was like, that's a little bit odd.
Also love that one New Yorker. It's like, I'm trying to sleep here. Like, no, we're playing.
But it's so funny because now it's in their mixtape. Yeah. As if it's like a Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Somebody say Dominoes.
But yeah, it goes off well, and then they have a party at James Corden's place. I like this movie. It's pretty chill. Like, I like this movie a lot. How chill it is, and it does get profound. Of like, not even the speaking moments, but just the moments where we're just sad. They're just having a great time. We're like, I can't really get mad at this movie because no one's really stupid. There's no Deus Ex Machina. It's just chill. It's chill the movie until drama happens, and when the drama happens, you're like, God damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Adam Levine comes back into town.
Yeah,
and like is like, hey, we should meet. And then she goes, yeah, let's meet up, asshole.
Yeah.
And they do, and she makes him listen to her songs that she has been like producing throughout the movie, and then he gives her song, but in his version.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I feel like this is plagiarism.
Yeah, and he makes it what it's not supposed to be because it's supposed to be this fragile, delicate thing, and he just made it not to be sound
Yeah,
happy,
it's
but
like very
mainstream.
upbeat and very poppy. But nothing wrong with being upbeat and poppy, but it's just like, yeah, it's kind of the same situation with Coco, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Remember Me. They like, what's his name? Ernesto something.
Ernesto
made it
de la
very-
Cruz.
Yeah, made it like very upbeat and happy
Yeah.
when it was actually a very somber and sad song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, so it's that situation, and he was like, come to one of my concerts, and I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'll play it the way you want it. I'll just show you how it makes the crowd feel.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't know what this was supposed to test.
Me too. Do we get like a kind of moving scene with Dan when he and Violet are on better terms, but he drops her off at her mom's place, and he just has this look of like, I should try to get my wife back, or reignite the feeling, because I want to be there for Violet. Just the way his face just reacts of like, oh god, I thought I was gonna make it through this movie without my emotions being tugged at.
Yeah. And God, like, and shit happened in like The Office. Wait, did something happen in The Office?
Well, Keira Knightley kind of killed the record label off because she's like, if we do it our way, we get a lot of your money, and you'll get some of your money. And then she's like, how come you're making $9 out of my $10? And he's like,
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, and when they had a better idea of like, hey, we could send this out to the internet, and people just have to pay $1,
Yeah.
and it'll go straight to us.
Yeah. And then Dan is praising Greta for like her way of dealing with the record companies. Like, they're gonna fold one way or the other. And they're like, she's like, yeah, I have a good feeling. And then they go their separate ways, but they pause for a bit. And then you're like, maybe no.
That made me so angry. I'm not gonna lie, that made me so angry. Also, James Corden, I hate you more now. Because, like, in the middle of the movie, and this is not James Corden's fault, this is the direction the movie was trying to go in. But, in the middle of the movie, where they're listening to the headphones, like, right, they're sharing one iPod, and they're listening to their guilty pleasures.
Yeah,
they were gonna.
I'll say the second time it happens though, it's kind of more like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, here I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Damn you, James Corden. Why you have to be here? And like the second time where they say their goodbyes and she stays for. Felt like an eternity to me. And I was like, yes? And then she was like, okay, bye. No! And then you could see in Mark Ruffalo's character's face where he's like, we would have been good together.
Yeah.
But he wants to do something else.
And then she does go to Adam Levine's concert. And like it starts off well, and then he just had to give in into his impulses. And you're like, you idiot!
I feel so bad now, but that's like one of my favorite parts of the song. And like when I'm singing it in karaoke, that's like the high pitch.
Yeah.
The high pitch part. I'm like, I'm not gonna sing it. I don't know if we're gonna get demonetized.
Yeah, or like copyrighted. But yeah, she leaves, and then she's biking. She sees Dan with his wife. She's like, good for them, and she keeps biking. And then
I think she saw Dan once, right? And she's just biking, and they're just showing us Dan and his wife finally
okay.
rekindling.
And then she just bikes, and that's the end of the movie until you stay for after the credits, where they do release the song on the internet. The album on the internet. And the company's like, did you have something to do with this? And Dan's like, no. No idea.
It's like, alright, cool. Back up your lockers. I don't know if that was a joke. I don't know if Dan's out of the job again. You don't know.
Yeah. Though I think this is one of the movies that doesn't need the sequel, so we don't really need to see what happens to Dan or Greta or the rest.
I was watching the trailer for this movie because I was like, I want to learn more. And as I was watching it, I just saw a comment where like, "Fuck, shit, I hate this. Why didn't they kiss? Why?" I'm like, I get you.
Yeah.
Get you.
But I think this is a good soul-searching movie to end on for this lineup. Honestly.
Yeah, it was more of like Keira Knightley's part, not Ruffalo's.
Yeah. That being said, what would you rate this movie?
I've been giving it this kind of score for a while, so I'm not gonna change it up just for that reason. But I'm gonna give this one a solid 8 out of 10. Like, I had fun with this movie. Shit hurt me in multiple ways where I'm like, they could have been nice together. Yeah. They're already nice together. And then they show us their platonic relationship right at the end of the movie. I'm like, I hate you for doing this. I hate it that you're justifying them not being together. But yeah, I wanted it one way, it didn't go out the other. I feel like that was a smart decision. Like, yeah, sometimes this shit doesn't really roll that way, you know? Yeah. And that's very realistic. I love that movie. And I feel like it deserves that 8 out of 10, personally.
Personally, I know I've been giving this left, right. I'll give this a 9 because I can't justify giving it anything lower, for me at least. It's a very chill movie, and like you can watch it and not really dive into it. At the end, you can be like, that was pretty cool. I like this movie. But if you really look deep into it, you're like, fuck, there are a lot of things about this movie. It says a lot of things. Especially the last scene between Greta and Dan before the credits roll. You're like, fuck, that says a lot. But that's just life sometimes, I guess. But yeah, good characters, good story. Again, nothing that's like, there's no way that could happen like that. Or that was stupid. It's just people being people. And I think it's the most real movie I've seen in a while, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I don't know what question to ask. What's your favorite Maroon song? That seems like out of date.
What's your favorite Maroon 5 song? I forgot what was the name of the song, but it was the one that goes like, "I Can't Go Home Without You." That was a pretty good one, but I will say my tippy top one is I guess it was called Sunday Morning? I'm horrible with names, but you know what I mean.
You're the money for both.
Oh, okay.
I will go with "The Air That I Breathe." It's pretty underrated, but it's a pretty good song.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Very old.
Yeah, and like until what's the name of it currently? Payphone, right? I think.
Yeah.
Until then, I liked most of her songs, and then after that, I'm like, you know what? I'll always have Paramore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like once you start becoming like a judge.
Yeah.
On the Voice, and like, I feel like you've fallen off.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, that's been our video on Begin Again. What's your favorite chill soul-searching movie, or any soul-searching movie in general? What's your favorite Maroon 5 song? If you want to comment down below. You can find us more on YouTube by liking this video, subscribing, and dinging the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on TikTok and Spotify to hear us on the go, maybe in between your favorite chill songs, and TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Individually, you can find me at Gandalvos1995 on Twitter. How about you?
You can find me at JohnGOM_ on Instagram. It is my art account. I don't know why I had a hard time with that one.
Yeah, and then next week it's a chill week filled with animation studios animation studio that's not Disney. So yeah, look forward to that. Until then, we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.